Hello, welcome back to our podcast. We are,
Boomers to Gen Z, and I'm Karen.
and I'm May. And Karen, today we're going to be talking about the relationship between mothers and daughters.
Oh, wow. Okay, that's a whole long topic. So please go grab your coffee and
And
come
we'll
back.
talk to you later. So,
Okay.
Karen,
Yes.
we'll start with you.
Okay.
um, what was your relationship with your? Are you the only child?
No. Yeah, family. Three girls.
Three girls.
Yeah.
So three girls. What was your relationship like with your mom? Are you the oldest child?
Oh, I'm the black sheep.
You're the black sheep.
I'm the
Okay.
black sheep, and um, it's very sensitive. My relationship with my mother. Even when she was younger, she's extremely, um, she's actually a very strong, very stubborn person and very used to having her way.
Okay.
So one of the challenge that we all had, my sisters and I, is that we have very little communication with her
Okay.
because in her mindset it's you do exactly as I say. If I say jump, you just decide how high.
Okay. Okay.
So it is a very difficult, very strained relationship. There were good times, don't get me wrong, but a lot of times I think between my sisters and I, we give in to her more than anything so that to keep the peace in the household.
Mm.
And which actually doesn't really help because at the end of the day, we there's so much we can give in, so and to keep peace in the household, she gets her way, so she gets more used to having things her way.
Okay.
So it's a very
So
tragic and very
what's it called?
dysfunctional.
You supported the behavior.
Yeah, exactly.
You-
Yeah. And so yeah, it's very very difficult. There's no I in my memory, really, I do not have a lot of
Bonding?
no. No,
No.
I can safely say we don't have a lot of bonding. We don't share a lot. We she has no idea of my life nor of hers. I of hers. Which tragically, now that she is at the early stages of dementia, makes it even worse
Okay.
because I think that it's gone to the point where personally I'm no longer interested to keep building this relationship.
That's
Yeah.
so like if you had to, but that's your experience with your mother, but like what was growing up, did you have like an idea of what a mother-daughter relationship should be like? Did you crave it? And if you
Oh
did, then
yeah.
how do you describe that relationship?
Okay. Oh, that's a very good question. Um, yes, I craved a lot. I craved that my mother would take time to do special things with me. So I craved that she would listen. I
Mm.
think the art of listening is so important,
Yeah.
and I certainly can tell you my parents have zero art of listening.
They're abstract. They're abstract.
Yeah, so it makes it very difficult. And it's like I have this vision of how a mother should be, which is to be their children's strongest, unwavering supporter, but at the same time, keeping the children humble and real. So, what I mean by saying that is not to give you false praises.
Mm.
Like, if you didn't do well, I would not say, oh, you did so well. Yeah, kind of thing. I would say, oh, it's not so good, but let's work on it,
Mm-hmm,
and
mm-hmm.
that we can, let's see how we can make this better, kind of thing. So um, I don't believe in some some parents who will just keeps praising their children when it actually is
Yeah.
not that good either. I know there's a term for it, but for some reason I missed that
Is
out.
it an umbrella parent?
I'm
No,
not
that's the
sure.
one that protects you, doesn't allow
Yeah,
you. That
the
there's
helicopter mom kind of
a.
thing. Yeah, so and I think a mom should be able to let go a little bit, and let the children make those mistakes,
Mm.
because they need to learn. They need to learn, and that's and not always be around to be that safety net for them. Not too much, because children, it, if you have a chance to make mistake, and it forces you to actually think of how you can get out of it, instead of like saying, oh, my dad's gonna bail me out, or my
Mm.
mom is gonna bail me out. I think that's part of growing up, really. Yeah.
So, like with my mom and me growing up, it was, I felt like she was not very present because she was so busy, like kind of like chasing her own ambition. She was a student at the time, she was
Okay.
doing her master's. So when it came to like my relationship with my mom, I just felt growing up that she wasn't really there. She wasn't very present. Like she never looked at my homework. She never like came to any school functions. And that's because she was a single mom and we were in a foreign country and she was studying and working at the same time as well.
Okay.
So as I got older, I understood why she was so busy and just never really around. But I definitely craved more of that connection. I wanted my mother to have time for me. Um, and I wanted her to actually take the time to get to know me. Like I felt for the longest time she didn't know like what I liked. She didn't know what I was up to in school. I never got a chance to speak to her about like the problems I was having or like, the fallouts with friends or the good things that were happening either. So I was always jealous seeing like my other friends' moms would come and pick them up from school
uh,
because I had to walk home by myself. And I would always get jealous about like how like they would always like cook meals like when we'd go over to like my friend's house. Her mom would always prepare us food and stuff. Like that would never happen in my mom's house. She might not even be home. Like so I always crave that, and I think that now that I've become a mom, you can really see how I've translated that I'm also working, and not that I was trying to follow my mom's footsteps, but I'm also a single mom. um, but I'm trying to really find a balance with it where I'm trying to prioritize these things like my work and also balance out what Zakiel, my son, needs, the time that he needs, and build my schedules around that so that it's doable because it's gonna go by so quickly. And I can see that my mom, she really, now that I'm older, I can see that she's reaching out to me more and she wishes that she had hung out with me more.
right.
Because to her, she feels like the time has passed because I don't necessarily need her. I don't like she's not the first person I think of calling. So now she's always calling me. And I'm always like, so I can see that. And I think that by seeing that, it just really makes me know how important it is that I'm there for my kid. But at the same time, things that my mom prioritized is not necessarily wrong. It's also the right thing. So just finding a good balance of all of this so that I don't have those regrets and I'm able to have that bond in another way with my kid that I craved from my mom.
Right. But I think, just to give you a bit of perspective, you are working in an environment that allows you to work from home. I think not, in defense of for your mom, we honestly don't have much of a choice. A lot of us, it was to the office 6 days a week,
Yeah.
that kind of thing. So that being said, um, the other thing that I found really interesting when you said, about how you felt that your mom's so-called mistakes and things like that, right? I I had this conversation with my girls, and like I said, I'm by no means the perfect mother, but I think I can safely tell you on behalf of your mother is that we have never been a mom.
Yeah.
We have um, no set workbook of how to be that perfect mother for any of our children.
Mm.
And it is definitely a learning process, and a learning curve to try to adjust to each other. And you being your own person, you know we may not be even changing at the right speed and the
Mm.
right direction. So um, I take that as my lesson, even with my very difficult relationship with my parents and with my mom, is that when I kind of tell myself that, okay, um, she didn't know better. That was what she knew as a child and what she received from her childhood. And maybe in her mind, she's being the best mom that she knows how to be. It didn't suit me, but it is what she knows. Um, and then it made me able to forgive.
Okay.
It made me able to forgive and say, okay, it's not her intention. I know that she cares,
Mm.
and but it's just that her caring didn't gel with my style of caring,
Yeah.
and therefore, and then I realized it's nobody's fault. And that's made me able to forgive and still be present for my parents today, because if not, it will be a lot of anger, a lot of
Yeah.
resentment, and I
Yeah.
don't want that as well. And I don't want that for you too, because I think like you said, if your mom is already reaching out, um, be grateful.
Yeah.
And she's at least present to reach out and say, hey, I'm here for you. Unfortunately, for like I said, my mom is not able to,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So forgiving is a big part of our life, and that we have to be that bigger person and be open, because one day Zach may have an argument with you, and you
Yeah.
may want Zach to forgive you.
Yes. Yes. Definitely. So like now that she is reaching out, I think that as we're all individual people, as much as like we have our parents and we have like our best friends, we have our boyfriends. These are all relationships that we have romanticized, but there's no checklist on what does this person need to complete in order to have this right relationship. There's so many people who have a better relationship with maybe their auntie than they do with their actual mom. Maybe their mom wasn't around, maybe they were left to be taken care of by their grandmother or someone else. But it's more of that relationship, and it's our needs. So if that person is reaching out to you, don't hold that grudge. I would say, like, don't hold the grudge on like, oh, but you did this like 10 years ago. Instead, like, embrace it, because you're actually not, don't look at it as you're fulfilling their needs, but allow that relationship to fulfill your need. Because if not, you're gonna have that emptiness.
Yeah,
Take it and accept it. Just allow it. Like, oh, you want to come for lunch? You want to have lunch with me, or you want to
yeah,
be on the phone? You want to talk to me? Like, let it happen, because
with
then,
no expectations.
yeah,
Yeah,
just
yeah,
just let it flow. Accept that energy, um, because like we don't know how long they're going to be around, right? And like one day when they're really gone, you're going to think of all of these things and be like, I should have picked up that phone.
yeah,
I should have done this. I should have. So I think humans are really good at what ifs and should haves. So like,
yeah.
and we need to just focus on doing, right? Instead
Correct.
of there's human being and human doing. We need to have the balance of both.
Exactly. Very wise, me. Very, very wise.
Thanks.
So, in saying that, at Women in Midlife, the community that I'm trying to build is we're running a sort of a competition. Maybe me
Yes.
can explain a little bit.
So, since me and Karen have such circus relationships with motherhood in general, from all aspects, we've decided that we want to create a mother and daughter challenge. You will find a special audio that's linked to our pinned reel on our Instagram profile. It will be the pinned reel, so it's the first one in the whole grid. Use that audio, make sure you like and follow our page, and then use that audio to record with your mom, or it could also just be like aunt that you have this motherly relationship with, or your grandma even. But someone in the family who you look as your mom, send in the challenge, and there's instructions on the post as well what you need to hashtag. Send it in, and we'll be keeping a lookout to see who gets a special staycation.
Yes, so we are. It's going to be open to the public to vote, and then the winner, the couple, will get a 3 day 2 night stay, and it will be something that maybe is a good way to reconnect and reestablish a new chapter of your relationship.
Yes.
All right. So please don't go away. There's always fun times. And I hope to see you next week.
Bye.
Bye bye.